The Dr. Phil Show aired an episode of the Idaho murders that has some pretty good insight. I'm going to play the interview with reporter Caitlin Becker.
Caitlin, you've been all over this, so let's get some details here and start by looking at the bedrooms where these victims were found. It's very likely that they came in the sliding door. And that's the one that you can walk up to, right? You can just walk up on the grass.
So the back of the house is ground floor, is the second floor. And there's two possible points of entry there. There's a slider and a window, and there was a cinder block under a window, which are very close, and they're going into the kitchen.
Okay.
Now, Xana and her boyfriend, Ethan, were on the second floor there.
This is the patio ground access where someone could walk up.
Yeah.
And this is a sliding door.
And there's a window near there, too.
And there was a window near there as well. And who was on this floor and in which bedroom?
So that was Xana and Ethan, and they were a couple, and I believe they were bedroom D.
Maddie and Kaylee were on the third floor. They were in which bedroom?
So they were in bedroom E, which was Maddie's bedroom.
Okay, they were over
Kaylee's
here.
bedroom was bedroom F, but Kaylee had moved out because she was graduating in December. So she was just back visiting for the weekend, had brought her dog with her, and her best friend from growing up was her roommate, Maddie. So they were sleeping in the same bed in room E, Maddie's room.
Then the third couple was in the basement on the first floor.
Mm-hmm. The roommates. Yeah, the two roommates. And so there were two empty bedrooms in the house.
Okay. The whole point is these guys say they didn't hear anything at all. And if they had been out partying and were zonked out and all, did it seem like that's possible that they could not hear anything?
It's certainly possible that they couldn't have heard anything. And we've also heard from other people who were living in the house in years prior who had rented it before these girls did, saying that he was on the lowest floor, and unless someone was playing a television extremely loud on the second floor, extremely loud on the third floor, they really wouldn't have heard anything. As you can see, the house is laid out kind of funky, so I don't know what the acoustics are like. You also have to figure this is a house with a bunch of roommates in college, so a little noise is probably kind of normal. So maybe you hear walking around, it doesn't wake them up because they're kind of used to it.
Yeah. Did you notice anything odd with the pictures from inside the house?
So the photos that we obtained at Daily Mail of inside the house are taken of that second floor. So you can kind of see into the common area here. You have the tamper tape on the wall, on the door where it's opening, and you're looking inside. We've got solo cups. There's a place for beer pong to be set up. There's a ton of dirty dishes, a half-drank cup of iced coffee. Everything looked pretty normal. You don't see blood, you don't see anything turned upside down. It looked like a mess left from a bunch of kids before they went out for the night. But what you did see in that one photo that cycled through was the outside of the house, and that was below Xana and Ethan's room. And that is what looked like blood dripping through the foundation.
Okay. So if that's true, that's a lot of blood to actually seep through.
Yes.
And you would have to
foundation.
assume they were on the floor, because if they were on the bed, I would guess it would get soaked up by the bed, right?
Right.
Yeah, so Ethan and Xana both found on the floor after a battle. Sounds like this was either a really big, strong dude, or there was more than one. Or he just had the upper hand by already having stabbed them. There's also another good topic that Dr. Phil brings up about the Australian Shepherd that was skinned.
Now, 3 weeks before this happened, on October 21st, reports say a woman let her 12-year-old mini Australian Shepherd out to use the bathroom, but he didn't come back. And they found him skinned 3 miles away from the murder house. And it had to be done by somebody that knew how to do it. Now, police have already said the incident is unrelated to the murders. I don't know how they know that, but I have a really hard time just giving that the back of my hand. How many dogs had they found skinned in Moscow, Idaho in the last forever? And from what I can understand, none. And then 3 weeks before a quadruple stabbing, within 3 miles, they find a dog stolen and skinned. I have a hard time writing that off.
This was one of our exclusive stories at dailymail.com, and I wanted to point out, as you just noted, taking something from a funeral or a memorial, the pelt of the dog was not found with the corpse. The paws and the head were left, the body was skinned, and the pelt is missing.
To me, it's significant that that happened almost exactly 1 month before the slaying of the students. Many people have conjectured, could this person have done it before? And will he do it again? But very often, we do see serialists start with animals. I mean, animal torture, everyone knows that this is very common. And with serial killers, there's almost always a 30-day cooling off period before they do their next killing. So maybe the first victim was the dog, and then the person graduated onto the students.
Yeah, it just, to me, I would be very slow to erase that from the timeline.
No.
Yeah, whoever did any of this is a sick individual and the biggest coward. Who skins a poor helpless animal and attacks people in their sleep? That is the most dandelion way to kill. This person is nothing but a coward.